I'm a little new around here, so I'm trying to find my footing. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hello. I am back with another episode of My Voicemail to the Internet. Now, I'm back pretty soon, immediately actually, and I just want to point something out that I don't think anybody has pointed out yet. Nobody's pointed it out to me, but I kind of want to, jump the gun. I messed up. The first episode, I messed up. You know where I messed up? I didn't name the song I was talking about when I was talking about J. Cole. I was just talking about a verse from a song.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
I just said a new song that he came out with. Like, what? The song is called A Plate of Collard Greens. And he's actually the feature. It's actually a Daylight song. And Daylight is a battle rapper / rapper. And he's amazing. But I'll do a whole episode about him one day for sure. But yeah. Can't believe I messed that up. That seemed avoidable. I don't know how I did that. But it's okay though. We're good. It's no worries.
It's okay, friend.
One thing that I wanted to talk about for this episode specifically was Sean the Diddler Combs, Mr. P. Diddy. And I wanted to talk about him because I didn't realize how big of like a, hip hop icon type of person he was until I started like reflecting on, how long I've known about the man and all this kind of stuff, right? And I'm like, damn, I kind of grew up with Diddy. Like, kind of crazy. I was never like one of my favorite like go-to people, right? But, I did hear him all the time growing up. I watched BET. I watched, MTV and all this kind of stuff growing up. So, yeah, I definitely was surrounded by Diddy growing up.
Pause, Granddad. Pause.
I actually had a neighbor. He was like, my best friend at the time. And he loved Diddy. He loved Diddy. Like, he looked up to Diddy in a way, didn't really have like a father figure in his life. So it's like, he looked up to Diddy. So that was kind of crazy. A white kid too, I thought. That's just funny. But wild. Yeah, so let's get into what is going on with Diddy. He got indicted and arrested and everything. And I'm just going to read like just a little bit of the indictment, right? Just a little bit. I just wanted to point out two little factors here. One is sex trafficking. He's getting charged with sex trafficking and abuse, right? Okay.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
With the sex trafficking, they're alluding to like these freak-offs that he's had, right? We've all heard of these P. Diddy freak-offs and freaky ass nigga, he's a 69 god. Who knows who's been there and, all this kind of crazy stuff, right? Now, all that being said, it's crazy to hear and read about like what was actually done there, and they would drug some people and they would hire sex workers and it really just in this it seems like P. Diddy was just like there just freaking whacking off to the whole thing just the whole time on like some weird shit, right? Like, some power stuff, like, he's got this whole little thing organized and he's being weird as fuck. And that's what it seems like in writing. It seems like people have kind of came out behind the scenes and, kind of provided more information to the FBI or whoever's involved, the feds, and now they kind of have more stuff. Another thing I wanted to go over was, it says other violence, right? I was like, other violence. What could that be besides just regular violence? Okay, so we all know the Cassidy video, right? the crazy Cassie video where he's dragging her and hitting her, throwing something at her, all that kind of shit, right? That's crazy. So that's included in this other violence. Now, one thing that I didn't expect to see on here was kidnapping. And he engaged in kidnapping, which that's a whole entire story. Who the fuck did he kidnap? Why the fuck did P. Diddy kidnap somebody? Probably Cassidy, not gonna lie. Now that I think about it. Or probably, a romantic partner on some level who wanted to leave and, couldn't on some level. That's not out of the realm because of how, crazy P. Diddy seems to be, or is really. So, And another thing I want to point out was, so let's look at this one. Let me see. Let me find it because I lost it. I can't find it. Okay, so.
Oh, brother.
Get this. Sorry, I lost my place. Yikes.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Okay, so
Finally!
It says, for example, in the early morning hours of December 22nd, 2011, the defendant and the co-conspirator kidnapped an individual at gunpoint to facilitate breaking into and entering the residence of another individual one. Multiple witnesses will testify at trial to the events surrounding the kidnapping and break-in, the latter of which is corroborated by police reports and other reports. Approximately 2 weeks later, the defendant's co-conspirators set fire to individual one's vehicle by slicing open the car's convertible top and dropping the Molotov cocktail inside the interior. What the fuck? That's Kid Cudi. Did P. Diddy try to kidnap Kid Cudi and then failed and tried to set his car on fire? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. That is insane. Another big thing I want to point out with all this is, there's multiple people involved. Who knows who's all involved? That's all going to come to light here soon, no doubt. We don't know. There's like a lot of people I have in mind, right? There's specifically one rapper I have in mind where I'm just like, I really hope nothing is centered around him. And that rapper is King Los. King Los and Diddy have had a relationship for years. Even after, the Cassidy video came out, they were seen chilling together.
Yikes.
So, I love King Los, he's such a talented rapper. He's so good. I hope he hasn't, done no weird shit. And he doesn't seem like he has. He really does seem like he's around him just for money, which, fuck it, he a billionaire. I don't really give a shit, right? Like, whatever. None of my business. But, I hope there's no weird shit going on with him. I hope King Los is clean. But anyway. But yeah, so that being said, all this kind of crazy stuff happening in hip hop, I like to bring it to Kendrick Lamar.
I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on, honey, to all my babies.
For, kind of setting setting the stage for something like this to happen, making it kind of all eyes on that subject. And, his newest song, Watch the Party Die, really does, we are watching, we're watching this party die. These freak offs are dying, hopefully. And, that's a really heavy hitting thing to happen after a song like that. And I think that's very important. But yeah, the state of hip hop seems to be in a pretty good shift, in my opinion. I think that a lot of these things do need to get addressed. I'm glad Kendrick shouted out Lecrae and D1. You know, I didn't know much about them prior. Now I know about them, you know, and I think pushing that, you know, that kind of shift out there is good, you know, like, yeah, it's great to have, you know, lazy music here and there to just dance to and just smoke a blunt to, you know, drink to, whatever, right? Party music, you know, that's always good, but it's kind of like, it's kind of like hip hop itself got addicted to the drugs, right? Like just as a whole.
Damn, it must be true.
And now we gotta, like, you know, kind of relapse. Or not relapse, but, you know, gotta go into rehab right now. And I think that's definitely what's going on.
Bro, what are you
so,
talking
hey,
about,
you know,
man?
I'm all for a good shift in culture for the better and making everything good again, or good for once, and, you know, just getting some positive stuff out there. Anyway, enough about hip hop. Let's talk about video games. What just happened today? Ghost of Tsushima released a trailer, I think yesterday, for the State of Play. Beautiful trailer. Game's gonna be beautiful. I've never even played the first one, but, you know, it's probably safe to say that it's a great game. And the second one looks great. It's called Ghost of Yeti? I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry. But, you know, female character. It looks beautiful. Now, one day after that, Assassin's Creed Shadows gets delayed until February, when it was like supposed to come out in like November, I think. Whew, that is it's not a slap in the face, don't get me wrong, because I'm all for game developers pushing out their release date further to make sure the game is good when it comes out, you know? I will never be against that. I don't care how long you push. I don't care how long you keep delaying it and keep doing all that. Do it. Like, I make sure that game is good when it comes out. Like, you know, Cyberpunk, Suicide. They had that problem. You seen what happened then. It's like, you don't want to do that. We've all seen what happens when the game comes out too early. It's like all of a sudden there's all these patches and, 6 months later, the game's good. And it's like, well, 6 months later, there's another new game out. You know, then we're playing something else. Like, kind of lost all care for it, you know. And don't get me wrong, games can come back. You know, No Man's Sky is a really good example of that. But, you know, you gotta do some amazing stuff. And that's exactly what No Man's Sky did. Not every game is capable of that, though. So, especially an Assassin's Creed game, you know, it's not that much more amazing stuff you can make better without changing the entire gameplay. Because it seems like the core gameplay is what people are a little tired and sick of, and it seems like we're getting that same core gameplay, just the aesthetic that we finally wanted. Will that be enough? I don't know. Am I going to play it? Of course. So, we'll see. In other news, I think that's about it for this episode. Gonna wrap this up with another short episode. Got a lot of stuff off with that Diddy shit. You know, that shit crazy as fuck. But I definitely want to get that out of the way. I didn't want to keep pushing on that with every little new piece of evidence that comes out. I wanted to get like a big chunk and then move on. If another big, huge chunk of Diddy information comes out, you know, I'll probably talk about it again. But I definitely don't want to every day be hearing about Diddy, you know, all this kind of stuff. So, yep. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a nice day. Hugs and kisses.